Question number 5. The nth term of a sequence is Tn equals 5 plus into bracket n minus 1 all squared. Evaluate T4 minus T6.
Anytime a sequence is given in this form, now clearly you can see that the n that is here is also the n that is here. So that means that whatever value that we have as the value of n, that is the value we are going to use on the right hand side here. So if on this left, as a subscript of this letter T, we have a value like 4, then it means 4 is going to be the value of n on the right hand side too. If the value of n happens to be 6 here, it is 6 that will be the value of n here too. So that is how we can calculate the value of sequence Tn for any given value of n. So what we are required to calculate here is the difference between T4 and T6 as it is given in this order here. So all we have to do is to find what T4 is, find also what T6 is, according to the definition that is given to us for sequence Tn, and then subtract as it is given. Therefore, we hereby try to find T4. T4 will give us 5 plus 4 minus 1 raised to power 2. By BODMAS, we know that it is what is in the bracket that we do first. So we have 5 into what is in bracket, that is 4 minus 1, which is 3. So we square it so that we have now 5 plus 3 times 3, which is 9, and this gives us 14. In a similar way, we also find the value of T6, which of course will be 5 plus into bracket 6 minus 1, also squared, and we have 5 plus 6 minus 1 is 5, and this is what we square, and this will give us 5 plus 25, that is 5 times 5, and this gives us 30. Now, having obtained T4 to be 14 and T6 to be 30, clearly T4 minus T6 will give us 14 minus 30, which of course is minus 16, and that is our final solution.
Mr. Manu traveled from Accra to Panfakrom, a distance of 720 kilometers in 8 hours. What will be his speed in meters per second?
This question number 6 is asking us to change a speed of 720 kilometers in 8 hours to a unit of meters per second. So that implies that we have a speed distance time problem in our hands. Therefore, the formula that is binding them together, which is speed, is equal to distance over time, is written here, And this, according to the question, gives us 720 kilometers that was given over the 8 hours. Remember, the unit is expected to be changed from kilometers per hour that it is now to meters per second. Remember that we have 1 kilometer giving us 1,000 meters. Everybody knows that. And 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Now this 3,600 seconds is obtained by acknowledging that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And by the time you multiply 60 by 60, you get 3,600 seconds to make 1 hour. So, all we just do here is to change our kilometer to 1,000 meters and to change our hour to 3,600 seconds. So this gives us 720. Instead of kilometer, now we have times 1,000 meters divided by 8. Instead of hour, we say times 1 hour in seconds, which is 3,600 seconds. So, of course, this can now be written as 720 times 1,000 over 8 times 3,600. Now this will give us meters per second. So whatever we get out of these calculations here is what our solution is as required. Now arithmetically, we can reduce this clearly. These zeros cancel out, and we have 9 going here, 4 times 9 here, 8, and here 0, and we have 8 here 1, 8 here 10. Now this gives us 10 times 10, which is 100, over the remaining 4 down here. And of course, this gives us 25 meters per second, which of course is the answer that is required.
If 2,500 naira amounted to 3,500 naira in 4 years at simple interest, find the rate at which the interest was charged.
This question number 7 is a simple interest problem. And there are 2 relevant formulae for us to use. The first one is amount is equal to principal plus simple interest. Amount is represented by A, principal by P, and I is representing simple interest. The second formula is the formula for finding I, which is principal times time times rate over 100. And of course, if we move to the right-hand side here, we find the values that are given in the question as follows. Amount A is given as 3,500 naira. The principal P is 2,500 naira. and time t is 4 years. Now the simple interest is very important in this our calculation, so we may use these other values that are given to us to obtain it, and this will help us to get the required rate as the question is asking us. Now we go back to the formula and we just substitute all these given values into each of them. A is equal to P plus I. That is 3,500 is equal to 2,500 plus I. Now transferring this 2,500 to the left side of the equality sign in order to isolate this I here, we have 3,500 minus 2,500 is equal to I. Remember, anytime a value is crossing the equality sign from one side to another, certainly the sign of that figure is going to change to the opposite. So that is why we have this negative 2,500 here. So 3,500 minus 2,500 gives us 1,000. So 1,000 naira is our calculated simple interest. So we now go over to the second formula that relates I, P, T, and R. And we write, of course, I is equal to P, T, R over 100. And we have I, having obtained that to be 1,000, we write it to substitute I. Then P as given is 2,500. Then the times T is given as 4. And of course, we have the required R. Everything here over 100. And of course, the zeros cancel out here. And we have the next line giving us as 1,000 is equal to this 25 multiplying this 4 and this R give us 100 R. That is 25 times 4 times R will give 100 R. And of course, dividing both sides here by 100 in order to isolate R gives us these zeros cancelling themselves out, and we have 10 is equal to R. Therefore, our final answer to this question is that R, the rate of the transaction, is 10%. And that, of course, is the final answer to the question.
Question number 8. Solve for x in the following equation. 1 over x plus 2 over 3x is equal to 1 over 3.
In order to solve this type of problem, what we need to first do is to find the LCM of all these denominators of these fractions, all of them. And we use that LCM to multiply through the entire equation. That is, we use it to multiply each of the fractions in order to eliminate all these fractions because it is easier to calculate in integers, that is whole numbers instead of fractions. And the LCM of x, 3x, and 3 is 3x. So we now use the 3x to multiply 1 over x plus 3x times 2 over 3x is equal to 3x times 1 over 3. Now here, this x cancels this x. The 3x here cancel each other, and 3 cancels 3 out. So that we have 3 times 1 here to give us 3. Then 1 times 2 here gives us plus 2. And x times 1 on the right side gives us x. Therefore, 3 plus 2 is 5, and x is 5. So that is our final answer.